I think so.
Okay.
Let's see how this
Okay.
works. All right. So we're it says go live, so it looks like we're live.
I
Yeah,
am
we're
in the
live.
show.
I can
I'm
view it
on
on
the
YouTube.
show.
Let's check it out on YouTube. Let's see what happens.
Very cool. Okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna check it out just to see what it looks like.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm gonna close it because otherwise there'll be echo.
Okay.
Ah, God, I gotta get that CPU fixed. It's ridiculous, man. Oh yeah, it looks good.
Cool.
All right, I dig it. All right. Anyway, David, finally got you
Yes,
on stream.
I
How is
did it.
everything going? We made it
Oh my
happen.
goodness. It's only taken us what, however many times? Three times? Four
Probably about
times?
12, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. Oh my
So
goodness. It's
awesome.
good to actually make it official.
Definitely, definitely. So, man, I don't know if you brought a list of questions or we're just gonna freestyle it or how you want to do this.
Yeah, well, one of the things that I had pulled up, I felt like something cool to start with, and tell me if you disagree. But I kind of threw up a bunch of questions as far as motivation, because I think you and I both have at different times talked about one of the biggest things that we want to bring in the channels that we have, as well as the people that we've talked with, is just getting motivation, especially when you're in the situation where you do have family, you do have kids. It's not simple. There's so many. That's the thing. There's so many influencers out there in the fitness industry, which I don't want to shortchange them by any means, but there's so many that are out there that they're living the life of your young mid 20s. Some are in their 30s now, but you
Yeah,
know, if they're dating, they're not married, they definitely don't have kids. Things are simpler.
yeah,
So
right.
I love bringing that perspective. It changes everything, and the realism of what it actually means to try and be consistent and to actually make progress. So that's been a challenge for me. And one thing, there's lots that I'd love to pass on to people, but so I threw a bunch of questions in a little document, and I could rattle those off, or we could just start in general with motivation. I mean,
Yeah.
like, how do we? Well, here, let me. Do you want to just read off a few of the questions that I had?
Uh, sure. Whatever. Hey, whatever method you want to get this going. I'm just happy you were here.
Sure. Okay. Well, we could. I'll throw these out there. If it triggers something that we could then start kind of hashing back and forth, then perfect.
Okay.
Um, so I was just thinking, it's almost like why is motivation the biggest killer of success in health and fitness? Um, how do we find motivation? What started us on our fitness journeys? How is motivation? Has our motivation always been consistent?
Mhm.
How do we create a new habit and be motivated about it? And what types of strategies have we used to stay motivated? What has been the biggest factor that has encouraged us to work out and to actually track nutrition? So again, a lot of it is like, in my mind, it's like, how do you might want to make a change, but how do you actually move into that? Put a process in place and actually be consistent with it, because that's really, it requires motivation to be consistent. In a, I would probably argue. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. Would you agree?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess to start off, I would say that going back to what you said earlier about the 20 somethings dating, no kids, up until 2 years ago, that was me.
Right.
I spent my
Yeah.
whole life being that guy.
Yeah.
While it has its own ups and downs,
Sure.
it's
Yeah.
far easier
Yeah.
than,
Oh
than
my
the
gosh.
life now. Yeah,
You
and
sit
there's
there and you're
no.
like, what did I used to do with my time?
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm like, I had free time.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
didn't have to wake up at 4 a.m. so I could do things. Oh man, I actually could like go do stuff. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you forget all that. You have a short-term memory.
Right.
It's probably good that you do. But yeah, man, consistency. I was definitely consistent. I started working out. I probably started the first time I stepped in the gym. I was like 13.
Oh
So
wow. Okay.
I
Yeah.
started. I
Yeah.
started then. I worked out through high school. I enjoyed weightlifting and then, sports and that kind of stuff. Then went
Right.
to college. I focused mainly on school. That was a bad idea. So I started going back to the gym. That helped a lot. That really did
Yeah.
keep me sane. I was doing engineering. I was a STEM guy.
That's right. Yeah, I remember you
So
talking about that.
I needed something to take my mind off of it. So again, I was doing the gym, and then I was doing the gym after college. I had nothing better to do, really.
And it's like for you when you started young, because I dabbled when I was younger, but what did it look like for you? Was it kind of winging it? I mean, especially for you know well, I think we're roughly around the same age ish.
Right,
I'm in my I'm 32,
right.
so I'm
Okay.
in my 30s. So oh, okay, I've got you. Oh no. But so when we were that age, I mean, I've even there's a lot of people who talk about that are in their late 20s that when they started lifting, there was nothing on YouTube. YouTube really wasn't even a thing when they were really young,
Yeah.
and there wasn't a lot that you could go based off of. So, did you wing it? What did it look like? What made you want to
Yeah,
go and
man.
do it?
Had to wing it.
Yeah,
There were coaches around. They were always busy, stuff. So I would just look at people like, "Hey, that guy's really strong. Let's try."
yeah, yeah,
You see a
yeah.
guy at age 16 benching 300 pounds, and it's like I couldn't
Right,
even do that until I was in like my mid 20s.
right,
I was like,
right.
"What the hell? Like
Yeah,
crazy." Yeah, it's crazy. So I was like,
so
"Well,"
true.
but that's pretty much how I did it because
Yeah,
there was no social. There was social media, but it wasn't.
right,
I never thought to look for fitness stuff.
sure,
So it was just, monkey see, monkey do.
right.
Uh,
When
it
did you see it kind of transform? Like, when do you feel like it shifted into something more like regimented, where you felt like you knew what you were doing? And
Probably when I was in college.
yeah, yeah,
I really started getting the hang of it. I started listening with guys that actually knew what they were doing.
yeah, yeah.
And as I got stronger, I started figuring things out as well.
Hmm.
I went through a couple injuries that taught me
Yeah,
valuable lessons. I
right.
started reading up on the stuff. Actually, I bought Arnold Schwarzenegger's Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding.
Oh yeah, I've heard a lot of people talking
Right.
about that.
It's a great book, man. That's all you really need. Even now,
Yeah,
there's always stuff you can learn, but that to me that's like the best era of bodybuilders, man.
right,
They looked like you couldn't attain it, but they still looked realistic. They
right.
didn't look like anime characters.
Yeah, like insanely
Yeah,
striations everywhere,
yeah,
all over. Yeah,
yeah. It's ridiculous, but
I actually, yeah, that we could riff off on that a whole nother topic, so I won't go down that road. But
yeah, I'm with you. I think I know where you were headed, but
yes, yes,
and also, yeah, a lot of the I've noticed that a lot of the personalities on social media, not naming names, I
sure.
don't really even know any of these people's names really,
Yeah, yeah,
but yeah, they're not very relatable. Um,
right.
they're not
Hmm.
even related. They wouldn't even have been relatable to me when I was single, with no
Hmm.
kids. I
Yeah,
wouldn't have followed them at all. They're just,
right.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's just they don't seem like real people. I know they're real people, but
Right,
don't
right.
seem like genuine.
Yeah,
And now that
yeah,
I'm in this phase of my life, there's just nothing in common I have with them. And I don't know. I feel like we could really reach out and help those that are in this place, that have gotten out of shape, or
yeah,
low
yeah,
point in their lives. Like, when you're 24 or 23 years old, man,
yeah.
it's very easy to stay in shape, even in your
Right,
mid 20s. Like, if you're struggling with that, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe go
right.
to a doctor or something, but it's really
Yeah,
not something you should be struggling with in your early 20s, mid 20s, especially if
yeah.
you're single with no kids. You have all the time in the world. Even if
Right.
you're working multiple jobs, take a
So
nap,
true.
hit the
Yeah.
gym.
Seriously.
I'd do stuff in the morning. I'd take a nap, and then
Hmm.
after work, and then I'd go hit it, or I'd hit in the morning and take a
Yeah.
nap, and go to work. So there's always ways to make it happen. You just
Right.
have to want to make it happen. People
Right.
do stuff that they want to do.
Yeah. I know
And
that. I find myself with a lot of things saying, "Oh, I don't have time for that." And more recently, I've been realizing, "Oh no, I just won't make time for that."
exactly. You
And
have time, you won't make it.
yeah, and it's kind of like a slap in the face, and but in a good way, like if you have to tell someone that I've gotten to the point, and I shouldn't even say I've gotten to the point, and I don't know if you'd agree with this, but where, I mean, it's just a part of my life. So you make it work. What am I trying to say? It's a staple that just is going to be there. It's a non-negotiable, you know?
Right.
So whatever I have to do to try and shift my schedule. And I've changed up my training the way, all different ways that I've been doing it to now we're the point where I'm working out less frequently, but more intensely when I do.
Yeah.
And in a way, it helps me to mentally recover on top of physically recover because I do basically every other day now. And after my third son was born, I should say third child, second son. Anyways, I got to the point where it's like sleep was just like ridiculous. Those first 3 months, of the newborn phase are so difficult.
Yeah.
I really changed things up, and I was like, I need like on off days, and that was the only way I could slowly get back into it. So I trained full body, and then I have off, and that's been one way for me to help keep that non-negotiable in place, and so that I can be consistent with it. So I always think about for people that have talked to me about, they want to work out, but I just don't have time, and you realize that right now in that point in your life, it's not important enough to you, short-term gains and long-term, results, whether or not you're going to be physically deteriorating or just gaining weight. Those things aren't that critical to you in that moment. And for me, it's been trying to figure out how to help people recognize that it does need to be a non-negotiable. And sure, it takes work to get from, okay, it's a non-negotiable. Now, where do I fit it into life? So that I am consistent with it.
Yeah.
And that jump that takes a little bit of time to get into it. But yeah, as far as, so after college, what did things look like for you?
Uh, Debt. And yeah, debt, and I moved out to Virginia.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I went to school in St. Louis, and then I moved out to
Nice.
Virginia. And I moved in with my sister. I always thank her for that. And, I really spent time just paying debt and working. And going.
Yeah.
I couldn't afford to do trips. There are people that are doing trips.
Right.
I would take I'll take like little trips to like Philly or something.
Sure. Yeah.
Like a weekend. But it wasn't, I saw people at the time I was like 23, 22, 24. They were like, going to Barbados and all this.
Oh, really?
Like,
holy cow.
And then you find out about the, credit card bubble that we're now. I'm like, I see.
Yeah, I know. That truly is the key. I mean, everyone's life always looks easier and simpler and better than yours until you get all the curtains pulled back,
Yeah, you see the truth, the naked truth, and it's like, oh,
right.
They weren't actually doing it. They weren't buying that. They were hoping that it would just go away.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, man.
Because now, like, all the chickens are coming home to roost with everything, including student loans. And
right.
All right, well, I get it now, and I'm glad I did what I did. And but yeah, it was really just I went to like a little small gym out to where I was living out in Dumfries.
Nice, yeah.
Pretty much every day, and man, I got really into it. Made a lot of gains, and then that was life for years.
Yeah. So, yeah. How did it change? Once you got married, and even more so once you had a kid.
It changed as in, I wasn't following a diet. Yeah. I was still lifting weights. I was doing everything the same way.
Because it's just like dear, I'm throwing the microphone.
Okay.
It was just like that piece was at least a part of life.
Yeah.
Right.
That never went away. Never went away. But my diet did.
Yeah. And, that's probably the easiest.
Yeah.
To do.
I was like, man, I'm still young, and I was like 20. Right. My son was born. I was like, man, I'm big. And then I looked in the mirror one day as I walked by, and I was like, who's that? And I was like, oh, that's me. I thought the TV was on or something, reflecting in the mirror.
Yeah.
Holy, I was like, expletive. Like,
yeah, sure.
I was like, no, this is not gonna do.
Man, yeah.
At all. And I mentally, I was like, this happened to me.
Right.
Me, that guy. I was always the guy that was in shape.
Yeah.
I was still big,
Yeah.
but with my clothes off, there was nothing. No,
Right.
nothing to see there. Nothing to see there, man. I was ashamed of myself that I let it go
Oh
that
man.
far. But the kids, the kids will do that to you, man.
Yeah.
You're getting any sleep. Those first
Right.
months, you're not sleeping.
The sleep is
You're not
literally
sleeping.
the hardest. Yeah.
And you need sleep to recover. You need
Hmm.
sleep for your body to be doing its normal functions. And
Right.
I think really that's where a lot of my weight gain came from. Was just eating, not sleeping,
Yeah.
and I wasn't doing cardio either. I was doing zero
Mm.
cardio. I was just carb loading.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I can call it that, carb
Right.
loading.
Right.
I was like,
You were cycling.
yeah, I was carb
Cycling
cycling.
those carbs.
Cycling never stopped.
Continuous ever upward climb of
Yeah,
hard cycling.
it was
Man.
delicious every day.
Oh, I can imagine.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning. How about some Taco Bell?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I think back to, you're talking about in your 20s, how you can, do a lot. And even in your teens, like I ate like crap when I was in high school.
Oh yeah.
We literally, pizza, we get the frozen pizzas. I would eat those. I'd eat fried mozzarella sticks and potato skins. Like that was my lunches.
And you were 2 pounds lighter the next day.
Yeah, I know, right? And my wife even still laughs because I used to like live off of even into college. By the time we got married, she sort of started. She was really kind of one of the the awakening, I should say, to like starting to eat healthier. She just kind of already did, and she ran a lot, and she used to be able to run way faster than I could. I couldn't even keep up with a 1 mile. Like in college when we started dating in college, and I couldn't do any of that. But she would laugh because like my consistent staple was like sandwiches with, naturally with gobs of mayo and cheese and no spinach or lettuce or anything, of course. That, and then I had sandwich and chips, some Doritos, and
Oh man.
oh dear, it was disgusting. Like I would take Cool Ranch Doritos, no sponsor, they're not a sponsor, and I would dip them in mayo, dude. I
Oh,
would. How disgusting is that? Like even now, I'm like, why on earth did I do that? Terrible. But anyways.
no, it's fine. I remember one day I went to get Chipotle and I got a burrito, like a massive burrito, and I stopped by McDonald's and grabbed a large fry.
Oh, nice. Did you put it in?
No, I couldn't do that to myself. Even I had a sense of honor where I was
right, yeah.
no, if I do it, I'm just gonna do it separately.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, is this what I've become?
Right.
Like it happens so fast.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's amazing how fast it happens, and you have that moment where it's like, oh, it's gone too far,
Right.
Well, I don't know. What was your moment that it went too
Yeah.
far, where you like where it hit you?
That's the weird thing is it didn't occur to me until after I lost weight. Then I was like, oh, I kind of needed to lose a little weight. So kind of a similar story like what you had. I always was like, I almost idolized in a way like bodybuilders when I was young. I always wished that I could be, bigger. And I think part of it too is because I'm just, I'm fairly short. I'm hardly 5'6", and I've always been just smaller, not like super skinny, but so that was always the height thing was always a thing for me. I teased a lot, so I think I idolized people who were like big. Like if I can't get the height, I'm going to compensate. But I never did anything with it. And I used to like, again, like 12, 13, we had like a little mini bench down in my parents' basement, and I didn't know what I was doing, and it wasn't consistent. It was kind of sporadic. I would run every once in a while. I'd get on running kicks and I would do like a mile, but I would be like just hardly shuffling along on my run, but it was at least laying the foundation. And it was about that kind of sporadic, hit or miss. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I wouldn't, until college. I think my older brother actually bought the Beachbody Insanity. I don't know have you heard of that one?
I remember those.
Yeah. So, and I hated the whole concept of exercise videos. I thought it was so dumb, but then I started doing it, and it was like I wanted to vomit the first time I did it. So that got me into doing something consistently. I would consistently be exercising and started doing more running, started sort of lifting consistently, but like I didn't know anything about compound lifts, actually targeting the muscles that I needed to target. It just was kind of like, oh, do curls and do
Yeah,
some bench
the
pressing.
bro workout. Everyone starts with
Yeah,
the bro workout.
right.
Upper body
So
every day, arms
every day, yes.
every day,
Oh
chest
yeah.
every other day.
Yep. And it's like it didn't even occur to me. And then when I met my wife, as we sort of started to get to know each other, she mentioned the first thing that she noticed about guys is their arms. So I was like, oh, okay, well I gotta curl the heck out of I gotta curl the heck out of life. So that's all I did is curls. I was like, get some forearm pump. And so, but once I got through that, again, it was a lot of insanity. I jumped into P90X towards the end of college, and that was about the staple of any kind of weightlifting that I did. And I didn't track things. I didn't write anything down. I just sort of went by feel, which is, I know now, like the worst thing that I could have done to actually make progress. And I'd stare at myself in the mirror and be like, just pointless. Like, there's no change here, and I never did the nutrition piece.
Yeah.
And it really wasn't, for me, the awakening was my wife is a part of a health and wellness company and brought this thing called the 30 Days to Healthy Living. And she's like, Dave, I need to do this for my business. I have a video kind of all about this specifically, but she's like, I need to try this. Will you do this with me? And I was like, no. I was like, I'm not gonna. It's cutting out everything: coffee, sugar. It's all the allergens just to get down to kind of the base. Like maybe you're allergic to something, maybe not, but let's simplify your diet. You lose weight in the process. That's not the goal, but as I did that, I was like, all right, I'll do it for you. We did it, and in 4 weeks, I lost like 10 pounds, and I actually see my abs, and I was like, huh. Like I didn't realize the scale was slowly creeping up, especially over like you mentioned, once kids came along, especially over the past couple years, because we did that when my daughter was like a few months old. So my son was 2, and it was 2-3 years into parenting, and I was like, geez, you don't think about it. A lot of the meals, pasta based, sauces. I literally, my wife Krista would ask me, do you want some chicken with your ranch?
Oh man,
And,
yeah.
yeah. What's that?
It's bad when they're
Yeah.
making little jabs. It's like, get out of here.
Oh.
You. And no, I don't want more chicken. I want more ranch.
Yes. Give me my second serving of ranch, please. So yeah, for me that was the awakening, and at which point it was about a year later that I really kind of pushed into launching the channel. Started in Body Beast, actually, again with Beachbody, which now I really don't like, but
Oh yeah,
it was something to get me consistent into lifting, and that's when I started learning and exploring and actually figuring out what you need to do to train effectively. So, but yeah.
awesome. Hey man, that's good. And so yours kind of was like happenstance. You didn't even want to do it.
I know, right? Yeah. Ultimately, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it worked out, man. You
Yeah.
launched your YouTube career. So how's everything with that going, man? How's
Oh my goodness.
you were able to get any other interests? Because there's a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
YouTube.
I mean, from all the things that I've learned, I mean, and that's a learning, as you know, it's a learning process in and of itself, figuring out how to do all that. But I think the cool thing, and one of the perspectives that I've wanted to bring as a dad, my wife and I together, we run technically 3 businesses. So life is not simple. And I never say, I always never want to say that to be like, prideful or
Oh, no.
I would not recommend it.
I get exactly what you're saying.
Right. So, you're doing all this stuff and everyone's busy with something, everyone's, whether or not it's that or if it's work or if it's other obligations. So I never say it to, to be that way, but just the fact of the matter is that we had so much going on, and trying to figure out to take that then and bring a personal story into someone who's not been doing this consistently for years. Especially a lot of the fitness influencers, it's really cool, because they're that much, their physiques are that much more developed. They've brought a lot more knowledge because they've been doing it for years. It was almost, it's kind of an experiment for me to bring my own story into this, who's not that far along. I'm maybe 3 years ahead of the people who might be watching. And me kind of speaking to the mental game that is fitness. Every day is a battle in ways, and how you kind of handle those things, and how I've tried to tweak things, and what are the realistic results that you can expect, especially as a parent who's got kids, family, spouse, and life stressors on top of not a lot of sleep. So that's what I hope to continually bring, is that even in the midst of that, you can still make progress. So
Exactly.
not as much as I would like,
Yeah,
but
yeah, it's
so
it does get tough, but
yeah.
you can
How,
definitely make it happen.
how about for you? I mean, what's how I don't even know how long you've been on YouTube now.
Man, I started making videos in March.
March, very cool.
I think I made like the first video was like why I hate the dad bod.
Yes,
That's like one of the first videos I made.
right,
It was like right after I had got myself back together, and
sweet.
and I saw, I was seeing stuff all over like social media, and there's articles of like chicks being like, "Oh, I love the dad bod," and then I saw
Oh, right.
guys saying, "Oh, I love my dad bod." I'm like, "What the hell is wrong with all these people?" I was miserable, and like I
Yeah,
hated it. I hated it. I hated looking at myself. Like I
right.
hated what I had become. I couldn't
Hmm.
run. I was just like low on energy. I was yawning. I just wanted to sleep.
Yeah,
And man, I tell you, it was a terrible experience. And
yeah,
it was just because I just had too much weight on. Like I was carrying around that subcutaneous fat and
right.
extra water, and then all I wanted to do was nothing. I would
Yeah,
work out,
sit
but I
around.
didn't do
Yeah.
any cardio. I wasn't. I don't know. It was just every time I walked, I felt like playing like a trumpet. Like it was awful. Like I was like, dude,
Oh
this is not
dear.
me. This is not me. So
Yeah.
I had to give up that life. I had to give up Papa John's, not sponsored.
Oh, oh, yeah. Right.
But yeah, I was.
Oh man.
It just got out of hand and it had to stop. So
Yeah. If you if you were to call out one specific thing, maybe even specifically that's helped you get the nutrition back in line, because obviously you've had this years of consistent training, so that's been a staple in your life. What would you say, if you could, is there one thing that you felt was really helpful for you getting back on the wagon with nutrition?
yeah, I would say one of them was getting in more water.
Oh
Water is
yeah.
crucial. Yeah, water is really crucial, man. It got everything kicking. I didn't
Yeah.
notice it for a while, but
Yep.
it really helped out a lot. Gets everything moving, gets the bowels moving. Sorry,
Right.
yeah, sorry, but
No,
this is
it's
reality.
you gotta be
It
real.
helps a
Yeah.
lot. It helps a lot, and my skin even looked better. It's
Right.
just it helped a lot, and then really just getting back to counting my calories, focusing
Right.
on both macro and micronutrients.
Yeah.
Macros are important too. Everyone's obsessed with macros, and I
Right.
think macros matter. I think they might matter even more, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah.
Because you can eat buttload of carbs, but I mean you're gonna burn them. If you burn them off, it's not gonna hurt
Yeah.
you much. You just gotta
Right.
worry about calories and make sure your body's getting all the iron and all that kind of stuff, B12, all these kind of things. And
Right.
also, I wanted to take it to the next level, and I went and got a sports nutritionist certification.
Yeah.
Like I really, because I was at the time, I wanted to get back into like doing sport, like active things, and
Right.
I figured that would help a lot to take stuff to the next level and really know what I'm doing rather than guessing, and
Right.
then watching the stuff on YouTube because there's a lot of brilliant people out there on YouTube.
Sure.
You got bodybuilders everywhere. You got the social media, even though a lot of them are strange and goofy.
Right.
They know their stuff pretty well.
Yeah.
But I figured it'd be best to just for myself, and then from there you can figure out what works best for you.
Yeah.
What works for this 6'2" guy might
Right.
not work for a short guy over here.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
you know.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
Yeah.
you got to try things out, test what works. And for
Right.
me, lately I've been able to stay that weight just by making sure I don't overdo it with the carbs,
Yeah.
making sure I stay on my cardio. I run 3-4 miles like every couple of days,
Nice, dude.
and yeah, lots of water, and try to get as much sleep as you can. It's
Yeah.
still hard to come by, but do what you can.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the whole. I always, I've seen, read articles or watched videos or different things about recommendations for sleep. I mean, I even give a lot of the same recommendations in one of my videos for dieting. It's just how you enhance your sleep, how do you make sure that it's the room is your room and your bedroom is for sleeping, and you know other stuff. But hint, hint,
Set the
wink, wink.
candles are in the right place.
Yeah, right, yeah. So for the and so that you're not like having a ton of TV time and they're working on your phone a lot, which I still am not great about. But all those different techniques and tips. But then still, your children will wake you up in the middle of the night and I vomited in my bed, or I peed, or I have to pee,
Yeah,
or just
or they just
sobbing children.
wake up,
Yeah,
or just want to randomly wake up at
yeah.
2 in the morning. It's like,
And two, and I always have to say, I always want everyone to know, like I say all these things. Parenting is hard. Like we were just texting, and I'm like, yeah, parenting is no joke, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. So it's super hard, but there's such huge blessings from it. So I always want that to be my caveat. But
no, I'm with you, man. Having lived that single bachelor pimp lifestyle, I have to say, although this comes with its challenges,
yeah,
it's, there's nothing like it.
right,
I hope everyone gets to experience it, even if it's just once. Yeah, but
right.
if not, it is what it is. Enjoy all that energy you're gonna have because
There
you're
you
gonna.
go. Yeah,
Send me some, please.
yeah. I don't listen to those cumulative costs of children over a lifetime. I'm like,
Oh, that's
it's
nonsense. That's
it's a sunk cost.
yeah, that's nonsense, dude. My mom, she wasn't making that kind of money, and I turned out just fine, man. There's three of us, and we all are alive and kicking. So
Right.
you don't need to make $250,000 to raise a child, even today. It'd be
Yeah.
nice, it'd be
Sure.
nice if you got 250K coming in, but
Man.
no, they're being
Yeah.
ridiculous. I mean, I guess they're buying their kids Gucci shoes.
Yeah, no, that's true.
If I'm not wearing Gucci, he's not wearing Gucci. I get the Gucci shoes first.
Dude, yeah. Oh my gosh, the number of when my son was born, the number of people we had, like we were literally bombarded with clothes, hand-me-downs, new stuff. So, anyways, that's off topic, but yeah, I find going back to the thing that you said about water. One of the things that kind of struck me with that is so after I did that 30 days to healthy living, for me, one of the triggers, and obviously for me, it awakened this desire that I had as a kid to kind of like build muscle, be bulky. And granted, I'll probably never look like some of those guys out there, just genetically.
Yeah,
and
a lot of them are just blessed,
right,
blessed.
exactly. Especially if they're popular on some sort of social media platform. Typically, the 1% of the population, that's got those genetics. But regardless, I still want to, like I'm sure you've heard it, compete against yourself, be better than yesterday.
Yeah.
So seeing what I can do with what I have and the time that I have, I'm not in probably my testosterone prime anymore. I think that for guys that's somewhere between 18 and I don't know, 25 or something like that. But
yeah, I think it stays like kind of stagnant until like the 30s, and then I think it starts.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna hold on as long.
Well, because I've noticed that I'm stronger and I can run more.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know what happened there. Like I've hit athletic prime in my 30s.
Very
so,
take it. Just take it. Don't ask questions.
Yeah, I'm just like, all right, whatever. But yeah, I think it starts teetering off in the 30s.
Right.
But I think if you take care of yourself, eat good foods, drink water, I think you can prolong the doom and gloom.
Exactly. Well, and it's like in the midst of all of that, one of the things that it kept bringing me back to is that once I started learning about these little things like, the importance of actually drinking enough water, like I significantly increased my water intake, and I felt some sense of control when I was tracking my calories, and I had a goal. When you have a goal, instead of I just want to look better, like I actually set a goal, like, okay, maybe you want to add size, so you want to gain, like maybe you want to gain 5 or 6 pounds over a certain amount of time, or do you want to lose weight? For me, I had a specific goal, so I was tracking my nutrition for that specific goal, and all these other pieces that went through hitting my macros at least close, focusing on my greens and my fruits and all that kinds of stuff, to get the right micronutrients. All those were like feeding this desire of where I kind of wanted to take it, not knowing at the time how long it could take. But I started looking at things like drinking water as like, I'm like fueling myself. It was kind of thrilling to know just by some small changes in your life, you can start to like, fuel your body in a whole different way and start feeling incredibly better. So I don't know. It kind of when you were talking about water, that kind of struck me with that.
Yeah. It seems like something small, but it can make a difference.
Right. Well, I mean, they've even done studies, like with water intake, having sufficient water intake, to the point where you're not, it's not yellow when you pee. If it's clear when you're in the gym, you're actually 30. I think I could be misquoting, but I think it's 30%. You are 30% stronger in the gym, or when you actually train if you have sufficient water intake.
I can see that because
Yeah.
you're composed of water.
Right.
So and then you relieve yourself of those toxins since you're
Right.
So,
you're getting rid of everything. Yeah.
why not?
Flushed out. Right.
Yeah, so I could see that. But
Yeah.
hey, that's what I'm saying, man. Like these they seem like small little changes, but they make a huge difference.
Right. Yeah. Man, it's crazy. Well, anything else? What else would you throw out there as something that's helped kind of with your transformation?
I'd have to say, again, it's just having it's really just like desire to do it.
Yeah.
The hardest part about it was making your mind up to like make the change.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can hope and dream, but you gotta get in there and do the work. Because I always hear people, they get in there, they'll go a couple days and then like, I gotta do this again and again and again. Like, that's how you get good at anything. It's consistency and repetition.
Right.
You want that good golf swing? You gotta do it times a day. You can't be Tiger Woods going out there once a month. You gotta be, hitting 10,000 balls a day. You want to be, Steph Curry with that jump shot. You gotta shoot thousands of times, same way, same place, same way, same time. And it's like that with everything. You want to be good at it. You want it to work. You've got to put in the time.
Yeah.
And there's just no way around it.
Right.
Even using certain supplements.
Sure.
You gotta put in the work.
Yeah. You can't just
when you're doing that to yourself. You gotta work harder. So you make it worth your while.
Right.
On the line. So you better really, better put, the pedal in the metal.
Absolutely.
That you can shoot that stuff or drink whatever all you want, but it's not gonna work if you don't put in the time and put in the work. And have proper nutrition. To get the maximum benefits out of it.
Yeah.
So,
oh my gosh, that's literally huge.
But a lot of people don't have that discipline, man. Like I've noticed that the people, they just they'll start stuff. They'll go in like 70-80%, but you have to be all in if you really achieve your goals.
Right.
If it's fitness, if it's anything, you
right.
Put everything into it.
Oh, things are just falling apart here. It's okay.
Nice. You gotta put everything into it, and don't hold anything back. Don't leave any food on the plate. There we go.
Right. There you go.
When you're in the gym, you put 100% in. When you're doing cardio, you put 100%
right.
in. You're not sitting on the bike, reading a newspaper, man. You're supposed to be in there. Breathe heavy, get that heart rate high. That's that fat burning zone. You gotta hit that. Get
it done. Yeah.
Get in and get out, and you don't need to be in there for 2 hours to do that. You don't need to be in there for an hour.
An
hour, 20 minutes, half an hour.
I know. That's small. I always want people like even people that I've talked with even recently. It's like, seriously, start as small as you possibly can. If it's that big of a shift, start with like literally even 15 minutes, 3 times a week. Anything just to get that habit, get the endorphins coming from from training and those types of things. Then it can grow from there, to whatever you need it to be or want it to be. But
And I think another thing that helps with that, like right along what you said, 15 minutes is every week, like every 7 days, like take photos of yourself.
Yeah.
Really track.
Oh, absolutely.
Check the progress and check the scale. If your goal is to lose weight,
right.
Check the scale. The scale is the best. There's no I feel like I'm losing weight. I think I feel it melting away. Like, oh yeah, the scale says that you're a couple pounds heavier than you were.
Right.
So I think your feeling is wrong. So that's the best gauge you can have, really.
Yeah.
The to see it visually, see your composition, your body composition change.
Right. Right.
Take photos and just trust the process.
Right.
Don't get deterred.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get deterred. Don't get you know don't get down on yourself if you didn't lose 2 pounds in a week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's not how this works. We're human beings. We're flesh, blood, bone creations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or evolutions, whichever you prefer. I don't know.
There you go.
But we can't. The numbers. If you go by the numbers, it does work. But sometimes things,
Right. Yeah.
things can be a little off here and there.
Right. Well, and like what you said, like that's a huge phrase for me is trusting the process. Because I mean, realistically, I still struggle with that. I mean, just the other day, I did like I think I may have put this in a post I did on Instagram, but like a 3-year look back. I looked at a photo that I did 3 years ago, before I even did any kind of dieting or anything, and just to know that okay, I didn't actually make as much progress as I felt like I did. Like in 3 years, granted, half of that time I'm getting 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night, which is not great.
Yeah.
So even in the midst of that, small tweaks, small changes, and then trusting the process when I'm doing that, I have made progress, and keep having patience and trust as you keep moving into that. So that's huge. That's huge to help, because you can get so discouraged so easily, and it's not worth the mental effort to to think about what you're eating, to do whatever the case is.
Absolutely. So, yeah. And also, you got to be patient.
Right.
We live in this immediate instant gratification society. This world is based on instant gratification. Mm-hmm. If someone texts you or calls you, you don't respond in an hour.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh, are you upset with me? Like,
how dare you?
What's the world become, man? Like, you should be able to go like days without talking to somebody. I was like, well, what if you died? I'm dead.
Yeah.
You calling me? Is it gonna bring me back?
I mean, even down to like Amazon today. My son, he's been saving his money, and he likes to buy Legos every once in a while. And I'm like,
nice.
Hey, this, if you can, this is a great time to like experiment and figure out what happens when you spend your money.
Yeah.
So he picked out a Lego today. We ordered it, and I literally was dumbfounded just because it hit me in that moment. Because I tend to get like, oh my gosh, my 2-day shipping. Give me my 2-day shipping. Right. But it was, for some reason today, it was overnight. Like, he ordered this Lego. He's literally getting it tomorrow. And I was like, oh, dude. I was like, your Lego's coming tomorrow, man. And he's like, what? And I'm like, down to something as simple as that, you get so used to it. And it affects every aspect of your life, including when you're trying to like lose weight or when you're trying to build muscle. You just plus, social media doesn't help with that at all. And
24 hours,
crazy,
40 pounds.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I built, what is it? I've seen so many videos, so many different things, like 20 pounds in 20 weeks.
12 weeks. I'm like, all right.
I just saw one recently. I mean, the before and after was utterly insane. Like, he wasn't a huge, massive jack guy, but I'm like, that's significant. And it was 8 weeks. I was like, no, man. It does. I mean, you can make a lot of progress in 8 weeks.
Yeah.
But massive transformations to be clickbaity, probably not.
No.
Just to be realistic, unless you're
fiction going on out there.
Right.
And you can't like timestamp this stuff. They just put
exactly.
And a photo of them 50 pounds heavier with all muscle. So it's like,
right.
It's could have been like 5 years.
I get it. You want clicks, you want people's attention, and but
I mean, it's getting people really down to the dumps, man. They're like, I want to look like this person. I'm like, all right, how long did it take you to gain all this weight? Like, however long it took you to gain all this weight, like, it's gonna take you a reasonable amount of time to lose it. Like,
right.
It's not magic. Like, you didn't gain it overnight. You're not gonna lose it overnight.
Yeah.
Why folks think they can work out, twice a week, and then all of a sudden they lose all that years of damage they've done themselves.
Yeah.
Like, even in my case, like, I knew it was going to be a long haul. I was like, man, these love handles are thick. This is going to take a while.
Yes. Oh, man.
Not going anywhere. So I was like, all right, let's make this happen.
right, buckle down and
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, buckle
oh,
down and get the belt.
right,
Thing on it, suck it in.
yes,
Hit that treadmill. And just run. And eat lots of green stuff. Yeah,
yeah,
it's weird that people think it's just that simple.
right,
And it can be if you're disciplined. If you can
right,
turn off all the crap you've been eating and just eat veggies, lean meats, fruits, drink
sure,
lots of water, then yeah,
yeah.
it is easy.
Yeah, yeah. It's like almost in that. I've talked about this with my brother because my younger brother had for a time actually gained a bunch of weight, and he's now actually doing kind of the OMAD diet where it's one meal a day. For years we used to take jabs at him and laugh about it, but it helps him lose a ton of weight, and he maintains his weight really well. I mean, he's about my height, much skinnier. I mean, I weigh. Let's see, right now I'm like usually around 163. He weighs 130. I don't even know,
Oh wow.
132, 130. He keeps himself really lean, and I'm impressed by his ability to do it. But it's doing this, and he's got it down to a T where he can eat relatively low throughout the week, and he can eat whatever the heck he wants on the weekend. I mean, 3.5, 4,000 calories probably,
Oh man,
and and
that's
it's yeah, and he can, so it's like, oh gosh, where was I going with that? But just the ability
uh,
to
that's
I
just
lost it. I don't know where I was.
no. I think it was along the lines of discipline. I think that
Discipline.
might have
Yeah.
been where it was going because that
Yeah.
is tough. One meal a day that does work. Or
Right.
fasting like an entire fast where you don't eat at all.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
really good for the body, man. I feel good after doing something like that.
I
But you
know.
can't just
Right.
like kind of randomly fast. It's tough.
Right.
You
Right.
usually have to plan it out and be like, all right, this
Right.
day, I'm gonna not eat anything, and
Right.
it's not one of those things you can just like plop on yourself, but it is nice
Sure.
to give the body a break, let it,
Yeah.
do its thing without anything in the way, just function.
Hmm.
Wake up and the next day you feel pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I've
think everyone should do that every once
only
in a while.
maybe yeah. I've maybe done that once, maybe twice, where I've actually gone a whole day. I know some people do these 7-day fasts.
Yeah, that's
I don't know if I could, but I
you
could
need,
try.
you need your Bible for that one.
Yeah.
That's, I'd be having the King James right here.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Right here's
There was some celebrity who just did the was it the Daniel? Daniel from the Bible. They call it something, the Daniel fast. I don't even know. I think it was 21 days. Obviously water, and there were certain vegetables allowed, but I was like, man,
yeah.
21 days.
Well, see, the reason they were doing that is, it was to get in touch with like God.
Right, right,
Like, it wasn't to be fit.
right.
It
It
was
wasn't. There's a difference there. Yeah, for sure,
so
for
if
sure.
you were like, hey, if I can fast 21 days, I could get closer to God. Oh, that's cool. Let's do
And
that.
I could lose a ton of weight.
Yeah, and I can lose a
Then
ton of,
it's not.
I can see my abs.
Yes, I do have to say from my perspective, that's why one of the reasons why I struggle is, if you're fasting for faith reasons, or if you're fasting for fitness reasons, because now for me they're too meshed.
Yeah,
I can't. I'd be too much thinking about the fitness aspect of it. Oh,
yeah,
I'm going catabolic, or
yeah.
and that's
David, I just imagine you like, hey, God, how's it going? Don't I look
right.
great? That
So
21
true.
day fast that's not why you're here. You're right.
Right. Oh, that's yeah. Forgot about that.
It's
Oh man.
this flesh, it's sin. It's sin.
Yes. Yes.
But
Oh dear.
yeah, I get it though. It's definitely a means to an end as far as fitness goes.
Yeah.
Uh, but I like doing it. Just I feel good afterwards.
Right.
I don't know what it is. I'm sure there's some science behind it. I did read
Yeah.
how fasting does help the body, but I can't remember the details. So
Right.
I'm
Right.
not gonna give a bunch of
Maybe
super
that's for another
science.
video. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. My tinfoil hat's over there, so I'm not right. I'm gonna leave it over there for today.
Sure.
So,
Very cool, man. Well, I don't know. Anything else you want to cover? Do you want to call it a wrap?
yeah, man, we've been on here for
I know. I'm just looking at the clock here.
almost 50 minutes. We killed the game, man. So this was
Yeah.
pretty good for a first time stream.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I think we covered basics, man. I don't think there's really much else. We talked about our little individual journeys, staying motivated, having having a family, and keeping on the grind. I will
Yeah.
say, I'll say this as a final note.
Yeah.
In order for you to really get something that you want, there's always going to be a level of sacrifice. I
Yeah.
mean, for me, it was sacrifice. Really sacrificing like things that I don't really need to do.
Yeah.
Things I like to do, but I don't need to do. And like, you
Yeah.
gotta be honest with yourself. Are you doing things you really need to do that you can
Right.
take them out and remove them for a little while just to get yourself in a better place?
Yeah.
Whether it be health, whether it be even financial.
Yeah.
You've been there spending time, watching these silly shows. They're not paying you,
Right.
watch them. Like maybe take some of that time and invest in yourself.
Yeah.
Go do the exercise then instead of
Dude,
watching
absolutely.
hours of Netflix or Hulu
Yeah.
or whatever streaming station there is now. There's like 1,000 of them. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if you realize, but they've pulled the wool over people's eyes with these things. You're going to end up paying far more now than
Yes.
they were for
I know.
streaming services.
You gotta have all of it, and now they're separating all the different shows. The Office is leaving Netflix.
Yeah,
Man.
I got off Netflix like a year ago.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say that I watch a ton. We have it, especially for our kids. Every once in a while, my wife and I'll get a chance to sit down and watch something. But
Yeah, YouTube's
yeah.
pretty much been my source of entertainment for the most part.
Yeah.
And then I
Yeah.
started making videos.
Right.
And,
Well, I find too now if I'm taking time to sit down and watch something, I'm watching something content related for something I want to do or just to enhance myself. But you're so right in saying the level of sacrifice. That's vital. What's I heard an expression like you can either go make your millions or watch other people make their millions. So I'm probably botching that, but
well, no,
you know,
I get the gist of it. A lot of
yeah,
people are living through others rather than living
yeah,
themselves. They're watching other people's journeys rather than taking their own. They're
yeah,
watching people become, icons rather than, chasing their own dreams.
yeah,
It's. I feel like a lot of people, especially in our society now, have taken a back seat. They've become like fans of everything of others and not really investing in themselves.
yeah, yeah.
They like watching it, like these silly TV shows. They're literally watching people live their lives. Why are you
Oh
watching
yeah,
people live their lives?
like the reality TV
Yeah,
show.
like they're
Yeah.
walking around the kitchen in their pajamas. I'm like,
Yes.
you walk around in your kitchen in your pajamas. Like, why are you wasting time watching this? Like, this
Yeah.
is your life. You do the same things. You sit on the toilet too.
Right.
You walk in behind your significant other after they leave the toilet, and you're like, man, oh, come on, what did you tell me? Like these are all things that we're all human beings at the end of the day. I don't know why
Yeah.
everyone's so obsessed with. Do you think they're taking off their skin and like in an incubation chamber or something? Like these are
Right.
human beings like everyone else. I don't know why everyone's so obsessed.
Yeah.
Watching other people live their lives instead of living their own lives.
Right. Right.
Doing things they want to do. It does. It doesn't even have to be anything crazy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I wanted to, write. I want to become a writer.
Yeah.
Just sit down and start typing.
Right.
or
Start doing
get
that,
a piece of
yeah.
loose leaf, start writing.
Mhm.
Watch some classes. Get some. There's classes for everything. There's free classes. There you can pay a couple dollars
Yeah.
off Udemy. Learn how to code. Anything. Like you can do anything that you want
Right.
now. Like it's limitless what the access
Right.
you have to things. Most of us have internet now. So,
Yeah.
get out here and do what you need to do. And then that's leaving fitness aside.
Right. Right.
Do something.
And yet, even in what you're saying, there's still applications to all those different things, whether it's fitness or whether it's whatever it is. Find that thing and start small.
Yeah.
Start with that free course or start with the thing that costs like $5, and it starts a little kindling, a little fire in there that just can start to grow.
Yeah.
Which I think I've certainly found with fitness, especially, but even other things as well. So.
Oh man, yeah, I'm with you on that, dude. It's
Yeah.
it's a crazy world, crazy times, but
This is
somehow
true.
we're finding a way to keep the ball rolling.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, but it was good talking to you, man. Finally,
Yeah.
glad we got to do this.
Absolutely.
Shout out to all the average Joes out there.
Yes.
We're here with you, and we're open to communication, and you want to make the change or you want to chat.
Yeah.
Let us know. I'm gonna try and see after I end this broadcast. I'm gonna see how I can get this to you. I imagine it'll be uploaded to my YouTube channel, but I would probably
Sure.
put download it and then send it to you maybe through email or share it through Google Drive.
Sure.
Something
All
like
right,
it.
sure. Well, and regardless of how we end up doing that, do we both want to just kind of throw out the channels in case? Because honestly, like what you said there is really key. Like, I mean, obviously, I'm not a spot. I don't really charge people for anything. I really genuinely do want to help.
We need to change it.
So, in due time, in due time. So I genuinely do want people to be able to have a resource, whether if it's consistent questions or if you just have a one-off question. I'd love for us if we could both just plug in where people could reach us or the channel names, depending on whose channel this is going on. So do you mind if we do that real quick?
Works, man.
Yeah, right?
I will definitely. Yeah. What do you need me to do? Put in the live stream or?
Oh, even just like if it's on my channel, if you shout out your channel name so people can at least find. Is it your name? Is it just your name? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's just my name, Tyler Ruff.
Okay, Tyler. Yeah, okay, so if it's on my channel, Tyler Ruff. If not, we'll still people to remember Tyler Ruff. Stuff will be in the description, I'm sure.
This is Dad Bod Fitness right here.
Dad Bod Fitness.
Yeah, I put that in the. I think I put that in the title.
Okay,
so,
perfect.
I'll once I get this going and make edits and stuff, I'll forward it. I want to send you the video though, so you can have it on your channel too.
All right. So, well, and now we've got the pipeline here set in stone, so we can easily do this again.
Right. Right in this, watch it say.
All other life things aside, yeah.
It's like, yeah, we didn't record any of that. So we've just sitting here talking for no reason. But
right.
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh,
all right, Dave, it was a pleasure speaking with you, man. And yeah, we gotta get the kids to sleep. I think my son's slowing down. So
I know those nights. They happen often. I'm thankful. I think it sounds like my house is relatively quiet. So
okay.
I'm looking forward to another meal and then going to bed.
Yeah. Get some water.
Yes, absolutely. I'm literally about 25 ounces short on my water intake. But
all right,
here we've been talking. I haven't touched it at all. But anyways, well, right. Tyler, seriously, this was a pleasure to be able to do this, and I can't wait to be able to do it again. So
awesome, man. Yeah, definitely keep in touch. We can definitely make this happen whenever you find the time and.
Very cool.
Things aren't going crazy, and things are usually pretty good here for the most part, especially with everything that's going on. I'm usually available at nighttime. But just give a heads up, if you want to do it a couple months from now, a couple weeks, I'll be here. So
sweet.
It was a pleasure again, and let's end this broadcast. Say bye to everyone.
Absolutely.
Give your last little shout out to your channel and all. Likes, comment, subscribe.
If I could, right. Actually, seriously though, it really does help.
Yeah.
But Dad Bod Fitness, all my social media stuff will be in descriptions in my videos. So easily, if you get to there, you can find all that if you have questions. So
awesome. And if you're viewing this on my page, you know who I am, Tyler Ruff, Rocket Fitness and Nutrition. So yeah, feel free to check out my channel, YouTube videos, like, comment, subscribe, dislike, whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Yeah. Give some love or some hate. That works too.
Right, of course.
But yeah, it was a pleasure again, and I am signing out.
All righty.